Inside the Moonspring birthing house, a woman lay on a wooden bed, groaning in agony as she gave birth. The woman clenched her fists and pushed hard. A baby's cry rang out. The moment my sister gave birth to the pup, she shoved him into my arms and fled through a forbidden teleportation circle. My mother dropped to her knees and gripped my hand tightly.
Ella, claim him. Please, your sister's life will be ruined if this comes out.
I lowered my head and looked at the baby in my arms. He was still covered in blood, tiny and fragile, like a little life freshly lifted from the snow. But on his forehead glowed a silver crescent moon. It wasn't the mark of an ordinary wolf pup. It was a blood mark belonging only to the silver moon alpha blood spleen. A chill ran through me. Who's the father? My mother trembled as she cried.
Cole Darkmane.
I froze. Cole Darkmane, alpha of the Silver Moon Pack and the most powerful werewolf lord in the Northern Territory. Rumor had it he was cold-blooded and ruthless. He even hung traitors' bones in the snowy forest as a warning to others. Lowering her voice, my mother said,
Your sister stole his bloodline. She used moonheat incense.
Moonheat incense, the werewolf's forbidden drug. For a short time, it could mimic the scent of a fated mate and drive an alpha out of control. My mother's voice grew even softer.
She thought having his pup would make her the alpha's Luna. But when Cole woke up, he immediately started searching for the woman from that night. If Kyle finds out the truth, he'll kill her.
I laughed. So she can't die. But I can spend my life raising her child? My mother shook her head.
Ella, you've always been the one who could handle anything. You've never deceived Cole, but your sister can't survive his wrath.
That line again. I could handle it. Which meant I was the one expected to be sacrificed. Holding the baby tighter, I turned and walked into the snowstorm. This child was too dangerous. He wouldn't just attract Cole, he would attract Cole's enemies as well. I couldn't afford to raise him, and I certainly couldn't protect him. Besides, I wasn't going to spend the rest of my life paying for Celia's sins. I would take him to the person who should be responsible for him. The next day, in Moonhowl Hall, wolf guards in black armor lined both sides of the grand staircase. Every eye in the hall was fixed on me. A low-ranked she-wolf from a remote border hunting village, Cole Darkharp sat upon his throne. Short hair rests upon his black battle cloak, and his dark gold eyes were as cold as blades. He glanced at me once. The crushing aura of a supreme alpha descended upon the whole. People dropped to their knees one after another. I didn't. At last, Cole raised his eyes.
Who gave you permission to enter?
I stepped forward and placed the baby on the black stone table before him. As if sensing something, the child suddenly opened his eyes. Dark gold eyes, exactly the same as Cole's. Silence engulfed the entire hall. I pushed the blood oath stone in front of him. Cecily ran. This is the pup she gave birth to. He bears the silver moon blood mark on his forehead, and his eyes are dark gold. I stared at him and spoke each word clearly.
Silver moon alpha. Leave your blood mark.
Your pup. Take him back. Cole didn't move. Beside him, the high priestess, Melina, turned pale.
My lord, the silver moon blood mark cannot be forged. If the pup truly carries the Darkhan bloodline, he must be entered into the blood registry.
Cole cut his fingertip, and a drop of blood fell onto the blood oath stone. Silver light exploded outward. A line of text appeared written on the stone. Leo Darkhole, Silver Moon Bloodline. The entire hall dropped to its knees. I picked the child back up and turned to leave. Cole's voice rang out, cold and commanding.
Stop.
I looked back. I've returned your child. I'm going back to the border hunting village.
The pup stays.
His gaze settled on me.
So do you.
I laughed. Why? Cole's eyes shifted to Leo's hand. I lowered my head and realized that the baby who had been crying moments ago had somehow gone quiet. His tiny hand was clenched tightly around my collar. His forehead rested against my chest, and the silver moon blood mark was gradually warming.
Because he only recognizes you.
I was confined to the coldest side chamber in Silver Moon Castle. They called it a side chamber, but it was larger than the elder's house back in the hunting village. Silver wolf pelts hung from the stone walls, blue moon fire burned in the hearth, and 4 wolf guards stood watch outside the door. I sat on the edge of the bed with Leo in my arms. He had finally fallen asleep. I, however, hadn't closed my eyes all night. Not because I was afraid of Cole, because I knew what came after dawn would be even harder. Sure enough, as soon as the morning bell rang, Melina entered with 2 attendants carrying a silver basin and a blood-marked needle.
Miss Ella, the Alpha has ordered me to test Leo's bloodline.
The Blood Oath Stone already confirmed it last night.
The Blood Oath Stone confirms bloodlines, not birth mothers. We need to determine whether Leo has been harmed by forbidden magic.
I let out a cold laugh. You don't dare go after Cecily. So you're going to stick a needle into a newborn instead?
A bloodline test won't require a needle.
He stepped inside. Snow still clung to his black cloak. His silver hair was tied back, and his expression was colder than the ice beyond the window.
We'll use the Moonspring blood reflection.
Melina stiffened.
My lord, the Moonspring blood reflection is a ritual used only by those of the Silver Moon bloodline.
Cole looked at the child.
Isn't he Silver Moon blood?
At the Moonspring, Cole let a drop of blood fall into the water. The spring instantly turned dark gold. The silver moon blood mark on Leo's forehead flared brightly, and every priest in attendance dropped to their knees. Melina's voice trembled.
Blessed by the Moon Goddess, he truly carries the Silver Moon bloodline.
Before I could breathe a sigh of relief, a black raven suddenly slammed into a stone pillar beside the spring. The raven burst into a cloud of blood mist, revealing Cecily's image. She wore a red cloak, showing none of the weakness of a woman who had just given birth. She smiled at me. Ella, you really did bring him to Cole. A chill swept through me. She hadn't been running for her life. This had all been intentional. Cecily's voice drifted from the blood mist. Take good care of him for me. When I return, I'll personally come for my son. The blood mist dissipated. Leo burst into tears. Cole seized my wrist, his eyes dark with a frightening intensity.
What exactly is your sister planning?
I stared at the shattered remains of the raven. Only one thought filled my mind. Cecily had never intended to abandon her child. She had only dumped him on me temporarily. Once Co acknowledged Leo's bloodline, she came back and take him. After we returned to the side chamber, Leo cried so hard that no one could calm him. An attendant brought a silver feeding horn filled with milk, but he refused it. They switched him to a softer blanket, but he cried even harder. Melina was so anxious that sweat beaded across her forehead. Cole endured it for a moment before saying in a low voice,
Make him quiet.
I'd had enough. I took Leo back into my arms, patted his back, and whispered, It's okay. I'm here. The crying immediately softened. 3 more gentle pats, and he let out a little hiccup. Then he buried his face in the kirk of my neck and stopped crying altogether. Everyone in the room stared at me. Cole's gaze settled on my hands.
How did you do that?
By holding a baby, not interrogating a prisoner. He looked at me coldly. I met his eyes without flinching. A pup that young doesn't understand orders. You can't intimidate him. You'll only scare him into crying. Outside the door, even the wolf guards seemed to stop breathing. I knew that sentence could have gotten me killed. But Cole didn't get angry. He only looked at the child in my arms and remained silent for a long time.
From today on, you'll take care of him for the time being.
I almost laughed. For the time being, how long?
Until a suitable wet mather is found.
And once you find one, I can leave?
If the child no longer needs you.
The words pierced my chest like a thorn. Of course I wanted to leave. But I looked down at Leo, who had finally fallen asleep in my arms. He knew nothing. Didn't know his birth mother had treated him like a bargaining chip. He didn't know his father had nearly handed him over to rules and protocol just moments ago. He only knew that I had held him. I closed my eyes briefly.
Fine. But I have conditions.
Co said,
Speak.
First, I'm not a servant. Your people aren't allowed to order me to kneel. Second, when it comes to feeding him, putting him to sleep, or changing his cloths, I make the decisions. Third, Cecily is the one who ran. Go find her. Don't put all her debts on me. Cole stared at me for a long moment.
Are you telling me how to do my job?
I'm reminding you not to be stupid. This time, even Milena lowered her head. Cole stepped closer. His scent carried the cold, metallic edge of a snowy night.
Ella, didn't anyone in that border hunting village teach you to lower your head when speaking to the Silver Moon Alpha?
Holding Leo in my arms, I didn't retreat even a single step. They did.
Then why don't you?
Because if I lower my head, no one will be left to protect him. For a brief moment, something in Cole's eyes deepened. That night, Leo developed a fever. Not an ordinary fever. The moon mark on his forehead burned as if it had been set on fire. His tiny body curled up beneath the blanket, soft whimpers escaping his throat like a distressed wolf pup. I carried him to the door.
Get a priest!
The wolf guard standing watch hesitated.
The Alpha ordered that no one is to leave without permission.
I slammed my foot against the door.
If he doesn't get here now, the child will die!
Half a quarter hour later, Cole and Milena arrived at the same time. Milena took one look at Leo, and all color drained from her face.
His moon mark awakened too early.